Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host Larry, and we're back for another hardware unboxing and review, and also hair trying to strangle me, of the FIFINE H18V headset, which is a combination of open-backed headset, a detachable, pretty okay microphone, so in case you need a microphone, you always have one, but if you don't need it, and you're like a lot of people and you have a standalone microphone, you can just pop that bad boy off and use it somewhere else. And then it also has a handy dandy little bit of utility with an inline controller. So you can do things like turn on or off your EQ. You can turn on or off adaptive sound canceling. You've also got a mic mute, and then your little toggles here to boost or lower your volume for your headset or your microphone. And really, one of the first things I was curious about was what exactly is an open-backed headset? Because to the layman who doesn't know, and I'm not the hugest audiophile, an open-backed headset just sounds like someone forgot to put the cover on the back of this bad boy, like right here, and audio's gonna leak out, right? Well, as it turns out, that's an intentional design choice where they have this open-backed design so more air and sound can go in and out intentionally and produce a more realistic sort of 3D effect in your room, so it feels like you have a more realistic audio flowing around you, a sort of soundstage room effect or more natural sounding audio. And I will say, I didn't quite like buy into that whole notion when I first started playing around with this, but now that I've kind of experimented with this headset and then gone into town and listened to different versions from more expensive headsets like the Sennheiser HD600, I understand what they're going for, even though I personally prefer a noise-canceling headset, just because life and neighbors can make a lot of noise, and sometimes you just don't want to listen to it. But if you want more realistic, more accurate spatial sound, like understanding and hearing what direction a sound is coming from, like in a game where creatures might sneak up on you, or in a movie where cars flip past you, or different effects zip past your head, it's a really nice thing to have, and it makes it much more immersive and realistic sounding, and natural. Although the downside is, you get more noise that goes into these headphones, meaning if there's vacuum sounds, fan sounds, or stuff like that, you'll hear more of it, and people will also hear a little bit of leakage and bleed from your sound going into your room and your house, so people will know that you're listening to something. Maybe not what you're listening to, but they'll definitely hear you're listening to something. The build quality on these particular headphones is what you would expect. I mean, this is a budget headphone. You're probably going to hear me say that a few times, but budget headphones are inexpensive for a reason. This is made out of plastic with pieces of metal, and it does have a few downsides for how it is constructed. One of the things that bugs me is right off the bat, they've got these little lead wires right here that are connecting the earphones to the headband, and then the headband back to this earphone and then to the cable. And that means that you could snag this and rip it out if you get it hooked on something when you're getting up to go to the bathroom or trying to go, run errands or something. You've also got a sort of an issue here with this plastic piece along where the size adjustment piece goes. This has okay tension right now, but I could certainly see this loosening and weakening over time, and then this slipping out, which I have a big head, so that's not going to really bother me. This is probably going to be out at its maximum size most of the time anyway, but if you have a smaller head, this flopping out all the time is going to annoy the pants off you really quick. So that's going to be a sort of a trouble spot right there. And the other spot is these ear cups are removable, which on one hand, fantastic. You want to wash these pretty often because ears sweat and they have skin oils on them. And that means that these ear cups are going to get gross and you don't want them to smell weird because that's just gross. But these are removable. They're made of fabric and a little bit of faux leather. I would hand wash those in the sink with detergent, but these can over time get loose and then you'll probably have to replace them. Although I'm sure like a lot of companies, you can probably either call their customer support to get a free pair or a cheap pair, because that's not one of the more expensive parts of these headphones. So they're robust, they can take a knocking or two, but I'd be gentle because they'll also probably wear out a little bit faster than a more expensive pair of headphones. The sound quality for the microphone, as we can go ahead and talk about this detachable microphone that you can pop back in right here. It's okay. It's not going to be an earth-shattering device, but the focus on this headset is more the playback than it is its recording ability, because this is just here sort of as an inclusion, because if you need a headphone microphone, this is understandable. It's clear, but it's not something I would call podcast ready either. So I can actually show you, I've recorded a little sample where I put a static sound effect on here so you can hear what basic house noise sounds like in the raw recording and what it sounds like when you turn on background noise that's really loud, and what happens when you activate the adaptive noise removal as well. So here is our audio sample. This is a raw audio sample right here. You can hear what this microphone sounds like with just normal background house sounds and the sounds of my office and my AC running in the other room. And then over here, I turn on a really heavy static sound effect. And then beyond that, I turn on the adaptive noise reduction so you can see how well it handles extreme noise, because every noise reduction technology now can handle a little bit of noise. But what happens when you give it a lot of noise? Well, we're going to find out. So this is going to be a side-by-side comparison. This is what the raw audio sounds like coming out of the headset microphone that comes with it. And it does a pretty nice job, and it doesn't pick up too much background noise even before you turn on the adaptive noise reduction that's supposed to be AI powered to remove things like fan noises or loud sounds in the distance. Probably because it's not a super overly sensitive microphone. You got to put it real up close to your face, and the quality is okay. But here's the static sound I've got picked out for this. And you can definitely hear that, and it intrudes on my voice. And I'm going to turn on the adaptive sound reduction, and we're going to see how well that does. So you can see right here in the waveform as I'm talking, the static that's normally in between gets chopped out, although it does bleed through and kind of leak through while I'm talking, so you can hear the static, but only when I'm speaking. So it won't be constantly pestering your friends while you're gaming, even if you have a lot of different noises going on in the background of your house or wherever you live. So you can hear, it does an okay job. You can hear my voice clearly. It sounds natural, but it's not going to win any awards for podcast audio. So it does its job, and that's what you would expect, and that's what you would want. And if you want something stronger, that's when you'd probably look at buying a more studio-built option, like a stand-alone microphone like I've got. So I didn't forget about the unboxing portion of the unboxing hardware review. The H18V headset comes in its typical bright purple Ampligaming FIFINE box. It tells you all about all of its best features, like built-in volume control on the cable, 7.1 surround sound, and the automatic noise reduction that's sort of built right into the headset. And then inside it comes in an anti-static baggie along with the instructions, although honestly there's not a lot to say about the instructions. It's just you plug it in with the cable that's already attached and set up and ready to go. You just got to remove the protective covers from the back and then plug in the optional microphone if you intend to use it. Because like I was saying in the main review, a lot of people have standalone microphones, which is why I feel like a lot of manufacturers are making them sort of optional, so you can pop them off and keep them out of the way of your face while you're gaming. And then if you really need them or you want them, you have the option to pull them off of your desk, pop them in, and chat with people if there's something wrong with your primary microphone. The rest of the headset is very, it's flexible. It's made out of tough plastic and some metal, so it's really easy to adjust through the little sliding mechanisms above either ear cup. The fabric earpieces are removable, so you can wash them and clean them if you need. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is let's talk about these inline controls, and then we'll end off on what it sounds like when we're talking about the built-in surround sound, which is a fake surround sound. It's a digital surround sound because there's nothing new being turned on in these headsets. There isn't any, additional hardware that kicks on to actually be a fully a proper surround sound, but it does provide some EQ to sort of even out some of the sound quality and boost the lows specifically. So this particular microphone has this little controller inside of the cable, and this does two things. It allows you to plug in the 3.5 millimeter standard plug, and this then becomes a USB headset. So you could plug this in to use this as a USB converter with pretty much any headset that has a 3.5 millimeter jack. And really the only thing I don't like about this inline controller is these are little flip toggles, I think is what they're called, where you flick them either up or down instead of a proper spinning dial. And those aren't bad. They'll probably last you a little bit longer than your typical spinning controls. But the only real gripe I have with this as a control unit is that these don't really do a great job of controlling your audio. And it feels like I spend twice as much time aggressively flipping these to use them as if I would if I just manually went to the corner of my computer, clicked on the volume, and moved it up or down myself, which completely defeats the purpose of this, except for turning on and off the 7.1 surround sound EQ button. The mute's nice to have, but if I wanted to mute this, I'd just go like this and unplug it and leave it unplugged. And the adaptive noise reduction is nice, but because you have to have this so close, whoops, I just flipped that all over the place. But because you have to have this so close to your mouth in order to talk to it, you really don't end up picking up all that much background noise anyway, making the adaptive noise reduction not super necessary unless you just happen to live in a very loud home, or if you just have like a really loud fan that sits next to you. Otherwise, you're going to melt in the summer sun, which happens, but that's not really my situation. So that's not something I would say it's super important for. Now, let's talk about the quality of audio coming out of these headphones, because we've talked about the build quality, we've talked about the quality of the microphone, but what you really want to know about is what does it sound like? And the simple answer is it's got a really clear audio, especially when it's in just regular stereo mode, but it definitely leans heavily on the mid-tones and the high tones, where it kind of struggles in the low tones, which makes sense because that's what the hardware inside of it is rated for. Where it really kind of picks up and cleans up for that is it doesn't have that sort of cheap sound that you would expect from like a $15 or a $10 headset. I'm sure you know what I mean, where you put it on and instead of being able to hear a set of robust sounds, all you tend to hear is like really light, airy sound where it's almost like tinny and kind of metallic sounding and cheap. This one has a little bit better range of sound, although it doesn't compare with like something like the Sennheisers that I mentioned earlier in the video, Sennheiser HD600s, which it shouldn't because that thing is like, like 5 to 10 times more expensive than this headset. This is $61 and that ranges from like $350 to $500. But this one definitely has a better range than a $10 headset that sounds really cheap and tinny. It makes up for that when you activate the EQ. The EQ does a nice job of boosting things, although it does kind of get a little bit overzealous in the low tones. What does that mean? It means that when you're listening to stuff with a lot of heavy bass, it starts to sound really heavy, really thick, and almost kind of like it's running through molasses. And the way that you get around that is you can actually turn on the built-in EQ software that comes with FineFine's different electronics. It's called the FineFine Genie, and you can fine-tune that yourself manually. So if you do that, and I can actually show you that on this other screen, this is the FineFine Genie, and you can, look around inside of this. This is just like a control center software for all of their devices. It's got an audio mixer, and this one you can actually split your audio. You can send some of your audio to the line called gaming, and then one to your chat, and then one to your media. And the idea is by doing that, it mixes it back together in the headset, and you can control your chat volume, your media volume, and your game volume separately in one control panel instead of multiple. That can be handy, especially if you're doing things like streaming. I personally wouldn't use this because I just set up my audio once and then I'm usually comfortable with it and I'm done. But if you find yourself needing to dynamically change things, this also offers that as a feature, although for some reason they don't make it a major selling point. The other thing is it's got a built-in EQ setting here where you can load up this specific device. They have different, if you unlock this, they have different presets here for different games. Although I do notice that a lot of these presets look the exact same no matter which one of these headphones from this company that you have. So maybe don't depend on that. But if you do know how to modify a waveform, the recommendation from a number of different people online to fix the muddiness of this particular headset is if you go over here and you drag down the EQ on the frequency of 150 hertz around here by somewhere between 2 and 5, you should be able to find your own personal sweet spot where it stops sounding heavy and muddy and starts feeling a little bit more natural and even with the high tones and the mid tones in the different music that you're listening to. So that's a really handy feature to have, and I like that they give you the option to adjust your EQ built into a free software. That way you don't have to have any additional tools from somewhere else in order to fix that, although you still have the option. This is a plug-and-play ready headset, so when you do plug this end in to your computer, it's just a USB 3.0. It should just pop right on and be usable and ready to go immediately. Then you just have to adjust the volume and play with the EQ, so it's exactly the way that you want it, and you can decide how and what features you actually want turned on. And I would say, sort of my verdict on this headset is it's good. If you want a $61 budget headset that has a bit better audio quality because of this open back design than you would normally find in a closed back like these over here, you can get that in this headset. And there's also a variant that is in both white and black that also has RGB that you might want as well, because who doesn't love additional RGB? If you've already got everything else in your office glowing, why not have your headset glow too? Although that might be more of a feature that you want when you're on webcam like this and doing recordings so that people can see the cool glow effect while you're playing games. The option's yours. It's $61, and I'll put the link to this in the video description below if you're interested in it. I'd say this is a worthwhile headset. It's not mind-blowing. The quality's good or okay in a lot of cases, but it does do a little bit better because of that more natural feel from the open back design. I do understand why people love that, although me personally, I'm more of a noise cancellation guy. I like to shut out the rest of the world and then just be immersed in my game, but you have more than one options, especially one that makes you feel 3D immersed in your environment where you're sitting, rather than by pretending you're in the void somewhere without any other sounds going on ever. So until next time, I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.